had suggested that we should do a topic on quantum thinking. So I thought it would be great for you. This is your kind of wheelhouse to tell us more about it and
Okay.
how you do it and what are the benefits of it.
All right. So what I know, I'm going to share with you what I know through the way I use tarot and how that relates to manifestation and manifesting, which is what we talk about usually. And our public is maybe interested in that. So actually, there are multiple realities happening at the same time. We're just aware of the one we are choosing to manifest, the one we feel identified with, but there are many parallel realities happening. In fact, all the possibilities are actually there in the quantum field. So the observer, which is the conscious part of us, which has an intention, modifies reality to actually choose that option that feels aligned to the idea of who I am. So that manifests. But at the same time, in different realities, there being different us, different beings that are manifesting different options. So in fact, everything is happening at the same time. And then there's this concept of time, because happening at the same time. Time is not linear. Linear is how we conceive it, because it's like we see like time frames, like frames of a film, and we see the film moving. So we think we have this sensation of movement, and then time happens because of that. But actually, every second, we are choosing who we are, and we are manifesting that. So if we have a shift in the concept of who we are, a shift in our beliefs, a shift in our energies, that changes the whole reality. And we all have experienced that. So whenever you have one of those aha moments, for example, with something that happened in your childhood, and you realize that suddenly you can perceive that differently. For example, I don't know, my parents left without saying goodbye and I felt abandoned. And suddenly you have another information and that changes the concept. It's like, wow, they didn't leave because they didn't love me. They had another thing, or this other thing happened. And suddenly you start perceiving yourself as being loved. That changes the whole concept of who you are now and changes the whole concept of life that you have had. So it changes the whole timeline. It's like if you jumped to a new timeline. So actually with tarot, what I see happening all the time is that there are like these different possibilities and realities that somebody can be choosing to manifest. And then there's a bridge between the invisible energetic quantum field, let's say, and the visible that is manifesting, which is happening through the physical reality that we're in. So there's a connection between all these images that I received and what is happening physically. So maybe something in the card, maybe someone that comes around and says something, or a sound that comes from the street, or suddenly something happens. So everything that happens in the session is part of the session, because it's like the manifestation of that option that is the one that is being chosen to manifest. And so the person is actually choosing that and manifesting that. And at the same time, there are all these different diversions or different possibilities that are happening there that the soul is showing, so that the person can choose another identity, another concept of the self, another concept of the world. And there's like this little bridge, which is a jump, that is so available. It's just, we're just a thought away of any kind of reality. So that thought comes in the shape of a frequency, which is, in my case, the interpretation is a tarot card, which is bringing an energy field that is actually helping to shift into that other frequency. But some people just perceive that as an idea, a concept, an image, a feeling. Something comes that is like a change in my concept, in my reality. So for example, someone that I had a session with this morning this person was having a hard time becoming a parent. He was having issues with having the child and feeling all the abandonment and fear of abandoning the child and all those things that happened in his childhood, because he had gone through a difficult pregnancy. His mother had a difficult pregnancy, so he had this he nearly dies, and the mother had to choose between having the child or living. And in fact, at a certain point, this woman prayed and something happened that he could stay and live. And the illness that the mother had stopped, froze, so he could actually live. So in that moment, there is all this information of his whole lifetime, feeling like he had to die, or he could have died. And suddenly there's this thought like, you lived through all those hard times. You are blessed. You chose to live. You have the strength of the choice for your own life to be experienced. You have the strength of choosing life no matter what. And that is in your being. And suddenly this person started to realize that he had the choice for life, and that he had chosen to live in so many other challenges that he had gone through, a hard life. And so suddenly he felt all the blessing and all the strength of choosing. I choose to live, and I don't have to choose between being loved and belong or die, or live. I can have both. I can live and be loved. So suddenly that person had an aha moment, and you could see his whole body change, his whole perception, his whole, he was having all this, suddenly these flashes of his life that are coming and that are kind of being reinterpreted. And that is when you actually realize that the person is shifting, is having another timeline where things are different. So he no longer has this past of having to survive a hard thing. No, he is this amazing being that can bring life no matter what. So it's a whole different concept and a whole different reality. And I've seen that happen so many times. When you change a concept of who you are, for example, another example is, once there was a girl that was the daughter of an immigrant to the States. And this person came from a Western European country. So he arrived to the States, and they had these children there, like the parents came to the States, have children there. And she had always felt like the family came from a poor background, and she had gone through scarcity and poverty, and that she was like, her father was not abundant. And suddenly all the information that was coming was that the life they would have had if he had stayed, would have been scarce. But he actually, with that movement that he did, was bringing abundance into their lives, bringing a new whole world of opportunities for them. So suddenly she started to think that he was really giving her abundance, and that they were an abundant family in a different way, maybe not with money, but with opportunities, a whole different concept of abundance. So suddenly, from being a girl that was struggling with scarcity all her life, not having enough, she started feeling like, wow, I have all these opportunities that my parents didn't have, and they gave me that. So she started feeling abundant, and she started changing that. And she had a whole change with her business and everything through that concept. So really, we are so powerful that when we believe we are scarce, we are scarce. When we believe we are abundant, that starts to manifest. So it's all just a thought away. And what I do with tarot is basically that quantum leap. So you actually choose which reality to be in. So I don't know if you know about Bashar or Daryl Anka, who's the man who channels Bashar, but he's got a video that is so amazing. That is, I don't read the future. There's no future. What is there is the present energy and the choices that you're doing in your present that are manifesting all the time. So that is really what I do. When I heard him talk about that, it was like, that's exactly what I do. I don't read the future. I read the present choices and the life that is manifesting and that you're choosing to manifest in the present. And I help people to realize the version of themselves that is more aligned to what they really are, because it feels more vibrant. And suddenly there's a release of energy. There's a sensation of something more real, more aligned, more satisfying, more healthy, fulfilling, happy, or however you want to call it. There's a burst of energy when the person realizes that that's the reality, the new reality, and that it has always been like that. So that changes completely the thing. So quantum thinking is the ability to not being framed and chained by the perceptions and concepts that you have, but to actually know that you can change the whole reality with changing your beliefs, which is actually what we talk about manifesting. So quantum thinking, the quantum reality is there's the whole field of possibilities with your intention, not just the rational intention, but the coherence between your heart, your beliefs, and your action. So the whole intention that is really honest. So there's this chapter that we recorded some time ago, which is like, what do you really want? So that the honesty, the coherence. So that is really choosing a different reality. And then with that choice, then there's all this thing that is coming to you, because the field is going to manifest the things that align with that frequency that you're choosing. So then it's synchronicity, manifestation, and all those things. So we are so trained to think that we are disconnected from reality and the world, when in fact we're choosing completely everything that is happening. So we might not choose it consciously. We might not realize how we're choosing it. We might not know how it works. But the truth is that whenever you change your concepts, the way you perceive life and your life changes. So it's not something about believing it or not. Try it. So just try it. And so that's the quantum concept. And that's why I've passed from the kind of a divination perspective of tarot, the therapeutic one, which is like one is on the future, the other one is based on the past, what happened, how I relate to what happened, and then is the quantum aspect of it, which is like, which reality do you want to manifest? Do you feel like you are? What do you believe you are that is going to happen? It's going to manifest. So that's it.
If you would like to know more about what Maria's talking about, why don't you like, share, and subscribe?